How to Moko, the Maori tattoo art, made a comeback in New Zealand. In a small studio in Gisborne, on the east coast of New Zealand's North Island, Mark Kopua presses a felt-tip marker to his nephew Desmond Horomia's arm. He sketches patterns and motifs that have been in their family for generations, then pulls on rubber gloves and a needle gun buzzes to life. This is Moko, the ritual body art practiced for centuries by the Māori, the indigenous inhabitants of New Zealand. Half a dozen relatives watch, squeezed into the room, witnessing a ceremony that was once nearly lost. Mr. Kopua, 64, and his nephew, 56, grew up in a Maori community that had lost all its tohunga Moko, its ritual tattoo artists. The craft had been handed down from parent to child, but in 1907 New Zealand's British colonial rulers banned Moko and other indigenous art forms. Maori people began hiding their tattoos and stopped teaching younger generations. More than a century later, the facial tattoos known as Moko kanohi are being seen again on television, on the streets, and in the halls of New Zealand's parliament. Maori teens and young adults are documenting their Moko ceremonies on social media. Some have even convinced their elders to be tattooed, helping the art form make a jubilant comeback after decades of stigma. I've been involved with this for well over 30 years now, but our culture is still relearning because they've been immersed and overwhelmed by Western culture, Mr. Kopua says. He and a small group of other artisans began tattooing faces after a Maori nationalist movement gained ground in the 1970s. Moko was asleep at the time. We decided we want to wake this thing back up again, he recalls. A Moko kanohi is the work of a lifetime. A person's history can be gleaned from the tattoos on their face, signifying their ancestry and marking their coming of age, the birth of a child, or the death of a relative. Women are marked on their lips and chin with Moko kawi. Men receive Mataora, which starts on the chin and grows outward to mark personal milestones. Family trees can be traced through recurring patterns on different faces. It's a thumbprint of your genealogy, says Ruihana Smith, a 32-year-old woodcarver who advises on Maori relations. She describes the tattoos as a living record, each curve and line encoding Wakapapa genealogy and personal journey. From a colonial ban to a cultural renaissance, Moko has returned not just as ink on skin, but as a declaration of identity. Thanks for listening.